Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Timberborn with me, Alpha Mega and Soggy Logs. So it's the day 8, it's the day 8 of the 10th cycle and we've been hit by a drought, but it takes only 11 days, so it's not something that I'm too worried about. And I'll be honest, I think we're in a very good position at the start of this drought. I've managed to fill everything to the brink. We have the lower delta fully filled. We have the river fully filled. We have the lower reservoir fully built. The only thing that I haven't fully filled is the upper reservoir, but it's almost there. So we are in a great position. Furthermore, we have 1.4 thousand units of water, actually 1462 units of water in storage, and we have 707 units of food. We even have some logs, to play around with. So we're in a great shape. I think this is gonna pass us very quickly, and we'll be able to do a lot of work because it's not blocking us. Droughts are just, compared to bad tides, droughts are a blessing. Anyway, what are we up to? Well, as you can see, we finished another level of the lower reservoir and we are working on yet another one. I wanted to finish it, but of course, it takes so much time that we weren't able to finish it before the drought was over, so we're just going to continue working on that. In the meantime, we have also laid the basics to the upper level of the reservoir, and we have started working on the bridge here, which is really nice. The construction is scheduled to go like this. I am still thinking about how we're gonna deal with the island. I'm not sure where to put the borders, if we want to go a little bit further on the edge or along the edge. I'll have to think about it, because going along the edge would mean more space, but also makes it way more costly. Going on the edge gives us less space, but it is way cheaper. So it's a question of utility. We'll have to decide. But I have to be careful not to go into too many projects at once, because 3-4 unfinished projects are worse than one finished one. Which reminds me, I'm actually considering one more thing. When you look at this area, there's a lot of dead trees here, and while thinking about harvesting them, because we now have a pretty decent amount of antidote and it keeps rising, I was thinking we could try to carve this area for a little bit of an extension, because it would give us some extra land. Land is really the currency here at this point. Like, we do not have anywhere to expand apart from up, which is always a possibility, but we would really do well with some more farming land, so we could move some parts, like the housing down here. We could make it, the designated housing area. I could move the farms down here and just use the extra land for proper farming, because that's what we cannot do anywhere. I can build platforms and I can move everything outside of the island in the nearby areas, but I cannot really farm in bad water. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, otherwise I think we're doing really good. I'm not sure when I'm gonna start this. This seems a little bit more like a priority, but I don't know, it depends on what my whims are gonna be like during this episode. Anything else that I would like to mention here? I'm not entirely sure. I'm feeling really good about this. Man, droughts are so cozy. I would never think that I would say that, but turns out on the island, badtides are when you get stressed. But droughts are cozy, man. They just make everything seem so nicer. And we live on our lush island while the bad water just recedes, and everything is really cool. So yeah, I like to think that's the way to go. Oh, by the way, there was one comment from Wolfhound that actually made me chuckle. I did not realize it, but he made a good point. If we ever reach the edge of the map, we can just use it to reach all of the areas where the bad water sources are. It didn't occur to me, but he's right. Like, the beavers can just move around here. We could build a path all along the edge of the map. So once we reach it, either through these islands or any other means, we'll have covered pretty much the whole map. I wonder if they can fall off the map. That would be so cool if we saw a beaver just jump to its death. I mean, that's dark, but yeah, it is always a thing that could happen. I mean, not in this episode, but you know, maybe they'll add something like that. Clumsy beavers, drunk beavers falling off the map. Day 18 of the 10th cycle, and the drought is just ending. We have a lot of water left. We have some even in the reservoir. We have still water in the river, and we have 665 units in storage. So things are pretty darn good. We've been really busy. When you look at it, we've added another levels to the reservoir. The lower level has been finished, and we are now building yet another one. This will close the entire area and kind of make them even out here. I'm looking forward to that when we'll have the same height on both, because it will allow us to do certain things that we couldn't. Remember that I want to put a sluice up here, which will allow us to actually always have one part filled. This is going to be a nice one. This is the area to which the bad water has receded. You can see that it completely showed the lower level, so we lost about 1.5 units, I would say, at this point. As you can see, we also finished the bridges. I've built some rudimentary levees here, but I'm not entirely sure if we're gonna go for the island first. I'm having a hunch that we might want to go here. I built a path into the area, and I've considered actually starting the expansion. When you look here, we've cut down some of the trees, which led to one of our beavers being infected, and he healed himself. So we now have 150 units. Antidote is aplenty, so we do not have to be too worried. Though it freaks me out. I wish I could show you. I thought that the beaver would still be infected, but it's not. But yeah, I wish I could show you the face or the picture, because it's pretty freaky. But yeah, they just go up here, and I guess they drink the antidote because, or maybe it died. A lot of the beavers have died recently of old age, so maybe he was one of them. Though, good news is we have 48 adults now for each of. Hello! One of the beavers just got infected again. Here he is, Kizuku. And he lives in the lodge, contaminated by bad water. Yeah, you can see the beaver is really sick. It's kind of freaky. They look like this, and they just waddle around. They refuse to work. They cannot do anything. But the contamination is slowly healed when they drink the antidote. Maybe we'll see him go there right now. As I thought, I need about 10 units of them. I think that each one, from what I saw, removes one of these 10 points until they are healed. So that is how it works. Having this much antidote means that we can actually do this now, so I think I'll start with that, because getting more space to farm would be good. I mean, we can get more space to farm here as well, but I would really like to make that a water farm, basically, which requires us to reach out this island as well, which I'm pretty sure we're gonna just forest completely, because we need more wood as well. Now, where are you, my dear widow? Oh yeah, see? He drank the antidote and now he's less contaminated, so that's good. Oh, on another news, we've built a couple of lanterns which increase the happiness. We should see, yeah, it's coming up. Unfortunately, we do not have enough campfires and rooftop terraces for our beavers, so I'm thinking we might want to... it's nicely filling. I fill them first because the way the water reaches, it will hydrate more of the island, so it's good to have them, filled pretty much all the time. But if we move some of the houses and other things down here, we could also place a fireplace like this one, or campfire, where the beavers could have fun. And if we unlock some of the more complex housing like the triple lodge, you can immediately put a rooftop terrace on it, and you kill two birds with one stone. So that would be my way to go. Other than that, we're just gonna continue working on the reservoir for now, and then we're gonna start the work down here. That's the general plan. I think it's a good plan. I think it is a good plan. Day 4 of the 11th cycle, and after a long while, we have a bad tide approaching. As they say, my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. I mean, we're in a better shape than we ever were. The island is prospering, we have enough food, we'll have enough water, the reservoir has another level. Well, I mean, we have moved a little bit and we might probably finish the next one in time, we'll see. But we have like 2 or 3 more levels than we had during the last bad tide, but I guess I will never feel good when it comes to bad tide. The issue is that it's gonna corrupt so much land and kill so much of our crops and trees. It's just gonna be a huge setback. We're hoping that it's gonna be a mild one. Something like 8 to 10 days would be ideal. We could deal with that, but if it's gonna get longer, it's just not gonna be good. I mean, as I said, I really feel like I will never be able to relax when it comes to bad tides. No matter what stage of the game we will be in, it's just never gonna make me feel better. Well, we haven't really done much in the few days that I have skipped. As you can see, there's no construction over here, but the island is again submerged. We have not done anything here either, but I'm planning to do so. Really, the focus is now on finishing the upper level of the reservoir so that we are ready. I also find a kind of a sweet spot where the water is just flowing naturally here. We have everything filled. We're just, we're mining water, man. We're pumping water. So things are good. We have 48 beavers, 1 child and 1 infected beaver, meaning we even have 1 that actually is unemployed and 1 incapacitated, but our jobs are completely full. We even have full amount of haulers, so the economy is at peak efficiency at this point. I wonder if the bad tide is gonna change that. I really hope it won't. By the way, as a side comment, or as a side issue, I got a couple of comments from you guys. Side comments. Riveting commentary. Anyway, you guys kind of suggested a couple of times that we might want to blow up the edge of the map and have the bad water go away that way. Now, that would, in a sense, fix our issues with bad water, but not really. The issue here is that when you look, there really is no natural river here that you could form. So if we, for example, blow up this area, the bad water would still fill most of the map and it would just start pouring out in this area. And I'm not sure what would happen, but we would not really benefit from it much, because there really is no natural, like if there was a natural river path, or the way a river could, or area where a river could form, we could do that, but I don't think that is possible here. So I still think it's much easier for us to just isolate the bad water sources and have them go off the map, because that way we can control where they go and we can free up the entire rest of the area. And again, the goal of this playthrough is to either create a good water sea or to have large-scale farming operations at various places of the map. So boring a hole into the edge of the map and having the bad water spill that way is not going to help us, because again, we want, the terrain is just too hilly for it to work, and I guess if it settled anywhere, it would still encapsulate us in the middle, unless we I don't know, man. It's just, look, there's so many little places where it would fail, so no matter how much holes we would break into the map, it's already spilling everywhere. See how much water is going out all the time? I don't know. it's a good idea, but not for our purposes at this point. So yeah. Anyway, let me just get prepared for this bad side. We need to be in top-notch situation. Day 6 of the 11th cycle, and the bad tide has just started, as you can see, and it's a 16-day one. Oh god, that's longer than any drought we had, isn't it? Man, this is gonna be devastating. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be nasty. No, not much we can do. We'll just have to weather the storm as it comes. I managed to fill the lower reservoir to the brink. Unfortunately, we weren't able to close it here, so too bad. We just cannot fill the last level. But other than that, I think we're prepared very well. We have 1924 units of water. We have 815 units of food. We still have some 68 logs, so we'll be able to finish this. Yeah, we'll just have to deal with the fallout. In the meantime, after we finish the upper levels of the reservoir, as I'm planning, I'm actually going to start working on this area because I want to move some of the houses and some of the storages and the campfire. Now, we need the extra rooftop terrace and campfire because we're not getting enough from the current setup. The lanterns are kind of okay. I'll probably try to find some more spaces. We also are kind of okay on the basic needs. And nutrition, that's gonna come. If we actually manage to get some extra space, I would be happy to plant more sunflowers there so that we have more sources of food. Maybe even, if we move the farms into the water, could potentially put them both here on platforms, so that would give you 6 extra spots for farming per each farm. Now granted, we will probably have to make a path, so it's not gonna be 12, but it's still gonna give you at least 8, and we would get additional, that'd be 8 here, additional 8, so it's 16 farming plots just from that. And if we actually, no, it's going to be a little bit more because there's additional paths here. So yeah, we're looking at some potentially 16 spots for farming. And I'm also going to move these piles of scrap metal because we can move them down there. So we get more space for trees. Yeah, it's it's going to be quick. It's not going to be very difficult. And it's going to help us in the long run. So here's to surviving our badtide. So far so good, but this is just the very start. Day 18 of the 11th cycle. We're well into the last third of the badtide. It's gonna be gone in 5 days, but I have to say it's as devastating as I expected. It poisoned large areas where we plant our crops. It killed a huge amount of our trees, so they're never gonna finish growing, and it's just, yeah, it's not good. Like, a lot of trees died here as well. It's a huge setback. I cannot say it any other way. We're doing good though. Like, we're not in any kind of critical situation. We have enough food. We still have 723 units of food. We have still over 1150 units of water, and we still do have some water in the lower level of the reservoir. So we're good, very good. It's just that seeing all of this poison seep in, it's just bad, and it's gonna set us back. If we're gonna get hit by another badtide after this, man, we're gonna be in just over our heads. Hoping here for a long drought. It always weird. It feels so weird to say that, man. Just what can you do? What can you do? Well, at least we're not looking at something like this, though. This is just so god awful. Anyway, we've been busy on the building front. We have finished yet another level. The one that we were trying, we finished it both at the lower and upper level of the reservoir. Now they're the same level, but I'm just gonna get used I'm still gonna call them that. We had to build an additional structure here to be able to reach this area, because, you know, we're gonna keep extending it eventually. We've been hit for 16 days, but we know that the maximum can be 30, so this is nowhere near enough. I think we had this much here, and yeah, well, we lost most of it, so we'll just need more. But, you know, droughts are no longer going to be a big problem, because we'll have this entire you know, area as a bonus, and during bad tides, you know, we're going to have this one. So that's the thing. We've also started to work over here. We have actually done a lot. When you look at the structures here, it's looking pretty good. We need to put an additional level on this so that it keeps the water out, because right now they're, you know, they're still moving in the bad tide or bad water, so it's not like, you know, we can have this because the water will be spilling over. But once we finish the entire structure, we're gonna get a decent amount of area in here. However, connected with the extended logging operation here and construction operation here is the fact that we have 4 diseased beavers now. They are getting the treatment. We have 232 units of antidote, so no beaver, to my knowledge, has died of being sick yet. They're all getting their medicine, and that's one of the rules. You know, I'm not gonna leave any beaver behind, but yeah, the sickness is spreading as more beavers are actually going into the bad water, so not much we can do that. However, yes, this is the actual project priority right now for us. We're gonna finish it, then we're gonna start moving, you know, housing and other things in here, and we're gonna replant more in this area. And the bad side has actually showed us that it is necessary to do that. More territory here would be good. I'm also considering building another storage for food that we could do here. Something like a large warehouse could be easily fit in here, or we could, you know, fit it anywhere else, to be quite frank, because I'm not sure it's a good idea to, you know, kill most of this area using you, because I still want to put the fireplace there, or campfire. Actually, we could put it here, and the campfire could be over here, and there could be a house potentially on top of that. Oh, I'll have to figure it out. I don't have any plans carved in my mind at this point, but we're just gonna finish it and move it there, because if, again, the bad tide told us anything, we really need to have more farming in the central area, which is why, you know, these could also be demolished and the food could be stored here. You know, if we're gonna build one, we might as well build 2 or 3 storages here, and they each store 1200, which is more than we actually have a storage capacity for now. So, you know, benefits, and they're not that expensive. 60 logs and 80 planks, you know, we could easily build a couple of those. That shouldn't be an issue in the long term. So that's something that I am considering. And I guess that's it for now. Oh, I forgot. We actually used the opportunity as the water was getting a little bit lower. We still have 1135 units of water at this point, but I demolished the 2 medium tanks that we had here, and we're building a second large tank. The 2 medium ones had capacity of 300 each, so 600 together, and the big one has 1200, so we're going to increase our water capacity by 600 units in total. We could also continue building a second one next to it, but the issue is that there is a large amount of rubble here that we would need to clear to do that, so I'm not entirely sure we will be doing that right now. It might actually be a better idea to, for example, use this area and build just a couple of platforms here and here, and have another tank built here completely, you know, on top of the existing structures, rather than trying to clear the rubble this deep. Not to mention, actually no, it's gonna be just 1 level, but what is that? That would be 1 large platform, and then you would still need another one, because this is the 3 and those, yeah, oh, or the 2 double ones. to have that done. Yeah, this is definitely a better place to do it. Alright, well, I'll see you in 4 days at the end of the Badtide. Last update of the episode is day 1 of the 12th cycle. Well, we are honestly in a sorry state. The Badtide is over and we're filling our area again with water, but we have lost a huge amount of crops and trees. They are being replanted, but remember, each one of these takes 4 days to grow. If we're gonna get hit by another Badtide soon, it means that none of them will actually mature in due time. Come on, man. You have 0.05 free space. Yeah, I've actually enhanced this area and it's still not working. The water is still spilling. Whatever. It's so hard to balance it out. I tried another thing here because the water was overspilling here. So I've moved this floodgate here to make it a little bit better, but I guess it's... I don't know, it should be able to block the water completely, but results are varied. Same here, it's not working properly. I think I would have to close it also behind it, just to make sure that the water goes just on a straight, because the way when I actually increase the amount of water that goes through, it starts spilling back into the sides. And you know, you can see that it's also spilling over here all the time, but there's not much I can do, and you know, it's just a couple of crops. Anyway, we started our work over here to close this area off as we planned, so at least that's one piece of positive news. We also ended up with, what, about 700 units of water or 650 units of water at the end, and we had a little tiny bit of water left in the old reservoir, so things are good. Still, it brings me to the point that once we finish this area, we're gonna have to go back to making the reservoir even bigger, even higher, to store more water. I know that I'm just building it up and up and up, but as the droughts and you know, Badtides are gonna get longer, we will just need to keep expanding it to have more capacity. Now I'm really hoping that the next one is gonna be a drought, because if it's a Badtide, man, I mean, the good news is we've stress tested to the maximum and we survived. 16 days is a long Badtide. It's a really long one, and we managed it pretty well. We still have a ton of food, so I think this inner area can still feed us. We had enough water, which is also good. The reservoir held, so you know, it's not so bad. You know, it's just that it's a setback because all of the dead trees and crops, unless we get drought, this is gonna be now poisoned. There's nothing we can do with it. This is gonna be contaminated from the surrounding bad water until the next drought. When it's gonna be clear, but you know, still, that is a long time away. So yeah, I guess that is the closing word here. We have done well. We have stress tested our system to the max. It worked. Nothing broke. But we sacrificed a lot. So let's hope that the game is going to be merciful and give us 1 or 2 droughts next, so that we can rebuild our farms. We can, you know, continue expanding, building this area up, moving the buildings that we need, and you know, generally just be a happy colony of beavers, because that's what we strive to be. So, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one with more Timberborn and Soggy Logs.